Hello guys, welcome to your 14th video on how to make a quiz website from scratch. And in this tutorial, I'm just going to continue from where we reached in the previous tutorial, and I'm going to show you guys something called get and how to use it and why we are going to use it in this video. So in the previous video, when you click on any teacher that we fetch from the database, it opens tests, right? But then how do we know that it's going to open the teachers, this particular teacher's test? If we click on Stanley, how do we know it's going to open Stanley's test? If we click on William, how do you know it's going to open William's test? That is why we need to pass William to the next file. That means we need to pass William from the previous file to this file and tell the file that this is William's test they should display. So how do we do that? We have to pass in William's ID. Okay, we use ID. So we're going to pass in the ID to the next file, and we're going to pass it with get. So using get is very simple. So just come to your test.php where you add the link. All right. So inside your href, you have to bring a question mark. All right. So after you bring the question mark, then you write the key. Okay, the key for what should be sent to the next page. And this time the key is ID, and you bring an equal to. All right. So what is the ID? We fetch the ID here. So you're going to come outside of the string with a single quotation mark. Then you concatenate the ID. So you bring a dot and you bring your R variable. Then you bring the ID here, ID. Okay, so then you concatenate again. Then you end it this way. Okay, so let's save and see how it looks like now. So whenever you hover over it, look below here. Look below. Whenever you hover, the ID is 2. And when you hover over this, the ID is 3. You see 2 and 3. That means that it will send 2 to the next page like this. You see it over here. And it will send, this one will send 3 to the next page. So whenever it sends 3 to the next page, we know that it's William. And then whenever it sends 2 to the next page, we know that it's Stanley. So let's write that code for that. So you're going to write that in the test.php. Okay, so this file is a PHP file, obviously. You open your tags and you. So you're going to use with a get. So before we do that, I told you guys that we're going to check whether the user is logged in all our files. So come to your student file. Okay, you can copy all this part of the code. Then you paste it all here. All right. So we're going to check if the cookie is set and if the user is set. You can also add and if there is a get. All right. So you just the get $_get, and you pass in the name of the key, which is ID. So if ID is also coming in small letters, right? So you have to get ID. So you have to get ID. All right. So this variable, we have to make it global. So all right. Okay. So now we've gotten our ID. Let's echo out the ID and see if we actually get the ID. So let's go back and click on Stanley. Okay, 2 comes here, and click on William, 3 comes here. So now let's check in our database if this ID actually exists. The reason why we're going to check in our database if this ID exists, because assuming someone can just manipulate the 3 and just type 10, for instance, all right? 10 is not inside our database, all right? So this is a something wrong. That means it shouldn't work, all right? So we're going to write a code to check our database to see if this ID actually exists. So this code calls the database connection. So we're going to write a code. So check ID equals to count prepare. We're going to prepare our statement. So select count. So we're going to count the number of rows the ID is in. So count 1. 1 just counts the first column as num. So the name of the column will change from count1 to num. So as just replaces the name count1 to num. So count as num where ID is equal to this. Okay, so if the ID is this, the person should also be a teacher, and the and the type equals s, the type equals p, type t, sorry. Okay, so if it's actually a teacher and the ID exists, it should return what? 1, because that is one row. So check ID execute array, and you pass in the number of parameters. So it's only one question mark, so we only need one variable, which is the ID. Okay, so now we have to fetch rows is equal to check ID. So if the fetch rows, the number of rows is 0, all right. If the number of rows is 0, or let me write it this way, if the number of rows is not equal to 1, that means that if it's 0 or more than 1, it should log the person out, because someone is trying to tamper with the URL. It's trying to tamper with the URL and trying to test whatever the person wants to test. So if the number of rows is not equal to 1, we should log out the user. So you can just copy this code here, all right, and just paste it here, log out. So let's go back. There's an error. Check line 1. Oh, sorry. Oh, wait. And from. Okay, so select the number from. I forgot to bring the column from users. So yeah, so that's the number from users. So Stanley, it works. William, it doesn't log out. But then watch this. The moment we type 10, it will log us out. Okay, so this is for security reasons. This is for security reasons. So let me log back in. So if I enter William, it doesn't log me out. If I choose Stanley, it doesn't log me out. But then if you try to tamper with this and change anything here, it will log you out perfectly, so that we don't manipulate the website and find vulnerabilities or anything like that in it. Okay, so this is how data is sent through GET. So if you send the data through GET, you see a question mark, and you see a name, which is the key, and you see an equal to, and you see the value. That is how data is sent through GET in every website. Every website, that is how it works. So for example, if you go to YouTube, for instance, and maybe I type this quiz website from start to finish, you watch this link, you see results, right? And you see a question mark, and you see this ID, which is search query, and you see an equal to, and you see this this value. That means that it takes this value and uses this ID to get this value in this page called results. Okay, so it works in all pages. That is how GET works. And this is the purpose for this tutorial, to explain to you how GET works, and also to get the teacher in the next page. So let me go one step further and display to you the kind of user in this that we clicked on. So select the number, and also the first name, the other name, and the last name. So we're going to echo out the echo out the fetch rows, the first name. All right, and see Stan. Perfect. So in our next video, I'm going to show you guys, we are going to go to the teacher's side, and I'm going to show you guys how to display the tests that the teacher has. Okay, in our roadmap, it says that the teacher should be able to see the other tests. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to show the other tests at the teacher side, and also how to add a new test for the teacher. Then after that, we'll come back to the students and display the test based on the teacher who you click on. All right, so yeah.